Time for round 3. Let's see what our deck shows us. Looks like a good hand. Yeah, don't think we can mulligan this ever. It's going to be a little bit difficult how to play this, especially with regard to the fetch land. Not too sure about that. The single green isn't really going to cost anything, but keeping the Catacomb is going to be better if you want to boom bust, or if we need more information about what to do. Kind of sucks that we have a land that doesn't cost the lightning bolt on turn 1 though. But usually there's a pretty good shot, a pretty good chance that people will have a fetch land on their turn, so it's not all that bad. We are probably getting a Blood Crypt here, allowing us to cast most of our spells. And then we can Thoughtseize him, see what he's up to. He doesn't have a turn 1 play, which is pretty huge. Oh, he's basically the Haterator deck, or whatever you want to call it. Protection from black and red is certainly not something we want to play against. So probably just want to get rid of that. Yes, and we can deal with Thalia and Leonin Arbiter without any trouble, so I think I'm actually going to pass here. No, let me think. I could make a mana to bolt whatever he plays, which could be a Thalia or the Search guy, and if he doesn't, I still gain 2 from Deathrite Shame. So I think that's better than attacking for 1 here. Especially because I might want to boom bust pretty early, although that doesn't seem to be very good play against his deck. So here I'm not going to bold this because I want to keep the land for Bloodbraid Elf, but just going to gain 2. I probably would have bolted Thalia, but I'm not too sure. So Thoughtseize is at least going to get Thalia. And he just has some land destruction. I think I just let him Ghost Quarter me and then Lightning Bolt his Arbiter in response. But he might not even do it because I can just pay 2 to ignore the effect. Yeah, who knows. It's more likely that he's just going to play the land and pass, which would be kind of awkward. I kind of want him to sacrifice his Ghost Quarter, so I'm not going to use the Deathrite Shame. Don't think he can sufficiently screw me here. And the upside of just finding a land to Bloodbraid is just too high. Inquisition. Probably just has a land. I can't really do much though. Well, now that I think about it, what we can do is to shoot his guy first. Yeah, that makes more sense. If we shoot his guy, then he won't be able to activate his Ghost Quarter and so on. So let's just wait 1 more turn. I think we can let him draw. So now we ignore the disadvantage of Ghost Quarter, getting a swamp, and he did in fact use his Ghost Quarter, which is great because now we will have an extra mana from Deathrite Shame, 2 extra mana from Deathrite Shame. But we somehow didn't draw land again. Let's see if he has anything or just lands. Don't really expect to hit something here, but... Oh, that's interesting. We don't have a basic land left, so... Yeah, so we are basically playing nothing against nothing, but we have 4 spells, or let's say 3 spells, because the boom isn't really doing anything, and he has nothing. It's possible that he still screws us out of this game, but I don't think it's likely. So we could bolt here, but I kind of like pulsing better to protect our life total and keep open the cheaper spell for whatever he might have later. There is one more thing, that he might take all of our red sources at some point, which we might actually have to play boom against. So yeah, but of course we can't boom if we are still missing our land, so... His deck certainly doesn't want to draw that many lands. Although it looks like he has a Baneslayer to use all these lands, which is totally not what I expected. So that pulse would have been pretty amazing. Didn't think they were running such expensive cards. Yeah, I should have used the bolt on the Pride Mage. We are still pretty live if we draw a land because of the Cobra. That's not the land I meant, though. I think we still play it, even despite Tectonic Edge. And then we might actually want to boom bust. Is that true? If we boom bust his Tech Edge, we are more vulnerable to certain cards. Let me think. We could boom bust Tech Edge. That means if we draw any land, then we can Blood Braid. Otherwise, if we draw any land, we can still Blood Braid. And if it's a fetch land, we can actually protect the fetch land. Yeah, I'm not going to boom bust. If he wants to kill one of my lands, that's fine. We need a solution to Baneslayer anyway, so let's see if we can find something. Liliana would still be very, very fine, but we have to cascade into it. If he has any creature, then that won't be enough. Whoa, now we need a pulse. Interesting play there. I don't think it's correct to play a second Baneslayer in that spot. Lingering Souls would also be fine. Okay, yeah, against Liliana, the second Baneslayer is probably better, but even then, wouldn't have been enough, so I don't know. So we did kind of mess up there by using our Maelstrom Pulse prematurely, but that was because I thought I could kill all the creatures in his deck with what I had, which wasn't true. So he's basically the land destruction deck. I don't want to play Boombust against him. I was expecting to play against much more combo-y decks than what we faced. I need the pulses against Planeslayer. I might actually want Slaughter Games just to get rid of them. Won't use that. I might want Jund Charm. Abrupt Decay deals with a lot of his creatures, and Kitchen Finks is just a nice card. He's going to try to screw us in the very early game, so I want all the cheap stuff I can get. And this should also give me quite a lot of options to deal with his Baneslayer. Don't really like Lingering Souls if he's trying to screw us, mana screw us, and so on. I think we can cut one of them. Don't think that Slaughter Games is necessary. Probably overreacting there. It's possible that Kitchen Finks is actually better than this Lingering Souls as well, gaining back some life. Although Lingering Souls is very good against Baneslayer Angel, to buy some time. We have a Cobra. We drew both of our basics, which is pretty awful. I think we mulligan this because both basics in our hand is very, very bad against Ghost Quarter and Path to Exile. He's just going to destroy our lands very, very quickly once he realizes that he can just go for it, and we have shown him one or two basics. Yeah, so let's take the hand without basics instead. Not too happy, but that's what we got to work with. I think it would have been very dangerous to keep the first hand. So he is very mana screwed, and I could just Jund Charm this board away, losing my Deathrite Chain, but then I have lands and he doesn't, so that sounds like a good idea. Let's see. Alternatively, I can wait one more turn, and I don't see that much that can go wrong with waiting. Like, there isn't that much he can do basically. If he draws some kind of, if he draws a land, it's good for him anyway. But if he tries something else, then it's probably just going to be bad. I would want to block with Deathrite, but that opens me up to Path. So I'm just going to take 3 here. What is this guy playing? Totally confused. So the Smiter certainly changes a lot. I could chump log it with Deathrite next turn. I want to get as much value out of this Jund Charm as possible. But the Smiter makes it kind of difficult. I think we can probably wait one more turn without being overly greedy. So I expect him to attack with both, which would give us the option to just chump block with Deathrite Shaman. And then he plays whatever he wants to play. We bolt the Smiter, and then we Jund Charm for 2 damage. If he has another Smiter, that's bad. But if he draws a land, then he can just cast his Smiters anyway, and we won't really have anything against that anyway. So I think that's the line I'm going with here. So he did draw 2 lands in a row. Might have been better had we played this a little bit differently, like going more aggressively for his Hierarch, but I think we are still fine. So I think I Jund Charm now for 2. Because I don't want to take the 2 extra damage. He might have another spell he wants to play though. So that's the alternative play. So taking 2 here, I go down to 13. I don't reveal that I have something else. And then I Jund Charm. Yeah, I need something. I need some stuff to go right here. So let's just let this resolve. So if I bolt this, he can't path because of Leonin Arbiter. And then I deal 2 to each creature with this mana. And then I hope to draw only Blood Braids from here on. He has a Willcleave Leech as well after boarding. He has both Paths, which is okay. If he draws a land, we get the Leech from him, but that's actually not that bad. We have some solutions to that. Now I'm just going to get a Path, and I'm just going to play this land. If he draws a land for his Leech, then at least I can draw Liliana to get rid of it. I won't ever be able to +1 Liliana against him, it seems like. This is probably getting pathed immediately if he doesn't have a land. Don't really know why he didn't path my Shaman here. He's probably afraid of Tarmogoyf, but Deathrite Shaman does quite a lot on this board as well, so don't know if I necessarily agree. So yeah, let's attack. He gets a 5/5. I'm just going to take it. Having the Deathrite in play is worth quite a lot of life, so. Oh, that's probably the reason why he didn't path, because he had something else to play. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. Finally, we get the path. So I got on 1, and I need to draw something really good here. That's not the worst. Okay, so he has the mana to play Wildleaf Leech now. And that means we just die because we can't block profitably anymore. Otherwise we would have been able to, if he attacks with both, block the Pride Mage to death. And if he attacks with only the Smiter, double block the Smiter. Now I'm forced to chump block both. Which leaves me with no outs basically. Blood Parade? No. Yeah, so game 1 we misunderstood what our opponent was trying to do. I thought he was just playing all 2/2s basically, which led me to play the Maelstrom Pulse, which was probably still wrong because of my mana issues and the problem I had against Tectonic Edge. The right play would have been to keep the Pulse for the Baneslayer. I still don't know if we win this game, and this game 2 here looked like we weren't really in it after the mulligan to 5. But I still think that our first hand didn't really have what we need to win this matchup. Although I didn't know that he has all of this after boarding, so had I known what he's trying to do better, I might have done better there. See you for the last round.